Hi, my name is Solo P1 and welcome to the 2020 F1 Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying. By the looks of it, it's going to be a Mercedes domination. Let's just get straight to the point. I'm not going to mess around, I'm just going to get straight to the point. The way it's looking now, it's going to be a Mercedes 1 and 2 from now to the end of the season, whenever that finishes. The Mercedes domination continues. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy, I'm a Mercedes fan, but I'm also a racing fan. I want to see some of them teams getting in there and fighting it out. I want to see the Red Bulls, I want to see the Ferraris, I want to see them in the mix. But the way it's going on now, it's not going to happen. Ferrari are absolutely nowhere. During Q2, I saw the Ferrari engineers, the mechanics, sitting there talking about what's going to be on Netflix tonight. Red Bull, their car is floating everywhere. They'll be lucky if they keep onto the rear wing, the wing of the car, before it smashes into the side. Because that rear wing, especially on Albon's car, is nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Their car's flying everywhere. Albon nearly hits the barrier. Max is spinning. This was during practice and qualifying. Max didn't even make it out the garage for Q3. Like I said, they're lucky if that car didn't smash into the barrier. What has happened to Red Bull? Red Bull was this team what was going to come along and challenge Mercedes. Not going to happen. Mercedes' closest rivalry for this season is Racing Point. The pink Mercedes. At the moment, my second favourite team. You got Perez and you got Stroll. Stroll is fighting for his life. No, not Stroll. Perez is fighting for his life. Any mistake from Perez, Vettel's going to come in and take that spot. I don't care what Vettel says. I don't care what the media says. That name, that spot, he's got Vettel's name written over it. Written all over it, in my opinion. Perez, he messes up a few more races. A few more qualifying. He's gone next season. I don't care if he's got 2 years on his contract. I don't care if he's got 4 years on his contract. That can be brought out and Vettel can be brought in. But as for qualifying, come on, what do you expect? It's the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton's won this Grand Prix 7 times. Tomorrow he's going to be going into that Grand Prix to try and equal Michael Schumacher's record of 8. Who's going to stop him? Max is not going to stop. Max has already conceded the championship. He's laughing, he's smiling in the press conference. He's having a good time. He knows that car is not going to get anywhere near Mercedes. He conceded it last week in Austria, but he's conceding it more here. He's having a good time. Season's done for him. He's getting ready to go on holiday. He's already packing his bags, ready to go on holiday. Max knows the car is absolutely dreadful. The Red Bull car of last year would be better than this year. This car of the Red Bull is spinning. It's got nothing. The McLaren car is better than the Red Bull. When's the last time we said that? That the Red Bull car is not as good as the McLaren. When's the last time we have said that as fans? Because the way it's looking, we'll be lucky if Red Bull gets on the 4th spot of the construction. Never mind, they're not going to get second. My pick to get second for the constructors is the pink Mercedes Racing Point. My pick for second on the constructors. Ferrari, they'll be lucky if they'll probably get bottom. Like I said, you got Charles Leclerc coming into the pit to try and change the tyres. You got the engineers on the side chatting with each other on the phones, saying, oh, what's on Netflix tonight? What's on Amazon tonight? This is why Vettel's coming into the pits and Charles are coming to the pits, looking at the managers and thinking, what are we going to do? They don't care. They're sitting around in the garage. They got their hands in their pockets. Pathetic. They should be in the unemployment line. In unemployment line down the job centre. That's where all of the Ferrari engineers and mechanics should be. That team needs a complete restructure. They need to get rid of all the managers. They need to get rid of all the bottom team. They need to get rid of everybody in that team and completely change the whole dynamics of that team. It's completely broken. It's been broken for years, but now Ferrari are broken. I've never seen Ferrari in this much trouble in the history of me watching F1. They are disgraced to the badge. I'm not a big Ferrari fan, but I respect them. They're the only team that's been there from the beginning, and they're there now. They are absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. And when I saw that, I couldn't believe it. It was during Q2. I couldn't believe it when I saw Vettel go into the garage. I saw Charles Leclerc go into the garage, and you see the engineers just standing there, hands in the pockets. Not a care in the world. If that was me and I saw that, I would come down. If I was a boss of Ferrari, I'd come down. I'd give every one of them the P45. Every single one of them. You're fired. Get out. That's what I'd say. They've lost hope. They've lost the fight. It's all over for Ferrari. Done. Like I told you from the last couple of years, if you go back on all my videos, the Ferrari team, the strategy team, should be at Tesco pushing the trolleys. I've said it. I said it last year. I said it the year before, and I'm saying it now. They're not even good enough to push the trolleys in Tesco. They are pathetic. They got no fight. They're a disgrace to the badge of Ferrari. As you can see on my backdrop, I got Lewis Hamilton with his hand up in the air. That was from the Austrian Grand Prix, by the way. But it's a copy and paste. Let's face it, it's a copy and paste. You think last year was a domination by Mercedes? You think last year? You wait until you see this year. I can't see Mercedes getting beat at all. Every race every qualifying, you're gonna see Mercedes 1 and 2. Every race finish, you're gonna see Mercedes 1 and 2. Who's gonna stop Mercedes? But respect to Mercedes, respect. You had a few teams, like I said at the beginning of the season. You had Christian Horner try to throw Mercedes off the game, failed. You had all these other teams trying to throw him off the game, failed. They tried to throw Hamilton off his game, failed. Failed. Mercedes are going to win every single race this season, by the looks of it. And they're going to get qualifying 1 and 2. The only way they're not going to get qualifying 1 and 2, one of them just spin off. But if they, look, Martin Brundle said it during Q3, he never saw a car in the history of his life the way Mercedes, the way it's planted clean to the ground. Ultimate grip, rear end grip, front end grip, everything. Lewis Hamilton said himself, that's the best Mercedes car he has ever driven. It's got the ultimate grip and the ultimate straight line speed, fast corners, slow corners, you name it. You name it. And Max Verstappen has said it. He said it at the press conference last week. He said it this week. He's conceded the title. The teams have conceded the title. There's no way no one's going to stop Mercedes. Mercedes are going to... Look, I guarantee the next couple... If Mercedes get a 1 and 2 in Silverstone, which is definitely going to happen, most likely, and they get a 1 and 2 again the week after in Silverstone, you might as well just give them the construction titles. Give it them, because it's over. No one's going to catch them. Nobody. Like I said, the only one's going to come either close is Racing Point, the pink Mercedes, the Pink Panthers, whatever you want to call them. People can say about this or about the diffuser, whatever they're using, the brake ducts. But at the end of the day, you got 2 drivers in there and they're doing the business. You're the 1 and 2 from Mercedes and you're the 3 or 4 from the Racing Point. Done. I don't care about the politics, part of it. I'll leave that to other YouTubers. Me, I'm going to talk about the basics. Get straight to the point. I'm not going to arse around. I'm not going to tiptoe because I want to get more followers. I'm not going to tiptoe because I'm going to offend maybe a Ferrari fan or a Mercedes fan. I don't give a crap. If you come to my channel and you watch my videos, you'll see I'm 100% down the line. If a Mercedes is shit, I'll say it. If a Ferrari is shit, they're shit. I don't care. I'm a Mercedes fan, but as soon as Lewis does anything wrong, I'll come out and say it. Done. Sorry about the focus on the camera, by the way. The camera's just playing up today. I don't know what it is, but it's playing up. But anyway, it's over. To me, it's over. The season's over. Mercedes giving the title. To me, Lewis Hamilton's going to win his 7th world title. I don't care what Bottas says. Bottas can come out and say, every interview, he's coming out and say, watch every single one of Valtteri Bottas' interviews from the beginning of the season to now. This is our 3rd racing, yeah? 3rd racing. We've had 3 races. We've had 3 qualifying. Watch every single interview what Valtteri Bottas says. He says at the end of the interview, don't worry, no pressure. When a man says to me there's no pressure, when a man comes out and constantly saying there's no pressure, that means there is pressure, in my opinion. This was Bottas' chance to shine. This was Bottas' chance to shine. To beat Hamilton, to out-qualify Hamilton at the Hungarian ring. And did it happen? No. Did I think it was going to happen? No. That's it. This is one of Hamilton's diamond tracks. You got Canada, you got the USA, you got Silverstone, you got Russia, and you got here. These are one of his diamond tracks, and there's nothing nobody can do about it. He come, he poled, the fastest man, track record, done. 90th pole. Before he retires, Hamilton, he'll probably be on 100 plus, guaranteed. That racing record, to me, he's going to break that this season, I reckon. I think he's going to break the race record. 2 more podiums, he'll break the podium record. He's got the pole record. He broke the pole record 2 years ago. Now he's just continuing his domination on pole. He's the pole man. As my mate Mr. Lawrence says on Twitter, Mr. Lawrence, yes, I agree, he's the pole man. And he's been the pole man for the last couple of years. Now, I'm going to get into a few qualifying. I've got a few notes here. I didn't put much down today. Because it's like I knew, as soon as I started watching the Grand Prix, I knew what was going to happen. It was just like, I think, right, what's going to happen is, you're going to get into Q3. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton, 1, 2, Mercedes, and Racing Point behind them. Right, now we got Q3. You got Q3, Q1, balance issue with Albon's car. Albon spent the entire Q3, Q2 on the radio moaning to Red Bull about his balance issues. The car didn't look right. It didn't look right in practice 3. Max spun once or twice in practice 3. You thought they would have tried and sorted it out. Obviously, they never. They probably sorted Max's out, but not Albon. Albon was spinning everywhere. Albon was, or even Russell, George Russell. After the qualifying, he come out. He was on TV talking to. He was talking to Martin Brundle. Was talking to Lazenby. Talking to Johnny Herbert. He was saying, "Look, I've known Albon for 13 years. He's one of the greatest drivers in our generation, in his generation. When we was having go-karting and racing together, he was always up there with all of us." And he said Red Bull needs to sort the car out. And that was fair play to George Russell, coming out and saying, Red Bull, sort out Albon's car, because he knows how good Albon is. So Albon's having problems in Q3. In Q1. He's having issues. He's coming out and saying, look, balance issues, sort it out. Nothing. Obviously, they never sorted it out, because when you get into Q2, you're going to see what happens. Balance issues with the car. At the end of Q1, Russell pulled out it was a Senna light lap. It was like a Senna. He was overdriving the car. Remember I said to you last week, and I've said to you in previous weeks, great drivers always outperform their car. When they need to hit it, they do it. Senna, 1994. Monza. Not one of the Monza, it was Imola, sorry. The car it was absolutely dog shit. No traction. Senna put it on pole. Ratzenberger says, I can't believe he just put that on pole. Done. Because that's what great drivers do. Great drivers outperform their car. So George Russell comes out, puts the car into Q1, gets to 15.05, 8th place, into Q1, straight into Q2. So we go from Q1 to Q2, 2 weeks in a row. Congratulations to George Russell. You can see why Mercedes are going to have him in the next couple of years. Bottas, there's rumours now that Bottas might sign a new contract for Mercedes for another year. Not being confirmed yet, but if he does, whatever. It's a matter of time. It is a matter of time before before Russell ends up at Mercedes. Now, Perez, the ones that are right, the top three in Q1, the top ones that come through. Before we end, Sainz was under investigation. Sainz was under investigation over blocking allegations, blocking Antonio. So nothing's coming out yet. I'm trying to look on my computer. No alerts are coming up. Stewards are going to sort that out maybe on a later date. We're going to probably hear that later on in the day. As soon as I hear it, I'll put it on my Twitter. Or you'll probably, if you're an F1 fan, obviously I don't need to put it on Twitter. You'll see it for yourself. So at the end, we had Perez, Stroll, Hamilton. They were the top. The two pink Mercedes, 1 and 2. Hamilton third. They were the top three, the ones that went out. Magnussen, Grosjean, the normal names, as you know. Q2 started, Mercedes Racing Points, put on the medium tyres. The majority of people, all the other drivers were on soft, but they want to be on the medium tyres because they know tomorrow they're going to be starting the medium tyres. Everybody's going to be on the soft tyres, so obviously because Mercedes have got the speed and the Racing Points have got the speed, you know, the strategy of medium tyres, it makes sense because the two fastest cars that face it is Mercedes and Racing Points. Let's face it, it's not Ferrari, is it? Ferrari is probably just above Williams. So Q2 Mercedes rated will come there. Max was complaining about understeer. So there you go again. Understeer. So the car is woken. As Lando Norris says, it is woken. That Red Bull car is broken. I always live by this motto. If it's not broke, don't try and fix it. That car last year was phenomenal, that Red Bull. That had the best grip. It had better grip than the Mercedes car. Better grip. This is why when it came to the places like Hungary and Austria, Red Bull excelled. It excelled because it had the smallest chassis and it had the best cornering. And that's why. Now, for some reason, they've messed with it. They've tried to mess with it to try and make it like the Mercedes car. No. Forget trying to make it like the Mercedes car. Make it like the Red Bull car. And that's what they've tried to do. And for some reason now, the losing grip is done. Just like Max Verstappen said last week, and he said it this week, the season's over. So Max Verstappen complaining about the chassis, understeer. Like I said at the beginning, straight to Ferrari. You had the two guys pitting similar time to put on the tyres, getting ready to come out. And then you see the Ferrari engineers catching Zeds. They looked like there was one guy standing there, he had glasses on. I don't know the name and I don't really want to know the names. One Ferrari guy there had glasses on, standing up. He was leaning up against the wall, looked like he was sleeping. This is Ferrari. This is one of the biggest teams in Formula One history. And you got an engineer standing up against the wall with glasses on. Now leaning up against the wall with glasses on. Yeah, looked like he's catching Z's. Absolutely pathetic. So basically come out, Hamilton at the end of Q2, nothing really happened. At the end of Q2, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, they're the top three what went in. The ones that come out at the end of Q2 was Albon. Albon's car just wasn't working for him. It was complaining through practice, it was complaining through Q3. They didn't sort his car out, so he's out of Q2, gone, Albon. Very disappointed for Red Bull. They're going to start putting the pressure on Albon. It wasn't his fault. The car's rubbish. They haven't balanced the car properly. And for some reason, look, Max Verstappen got through. Maybe his car's better than his. But obviously Albon was not happy with the car. and was making his point over the radio numerous of times, and they never fixed it. So now Albon's out of Q2, and that's it. Ricardo, Russell, Albon, Ocon, Latifi, gone. Russell went as far as he could go. Respect to Russell. That first qualifying was absolutely phenomenal. Imagine if Russell was in a Mercedes, it would have been phenomenal. So, Q3 come out. Vettel never, ever, ever has been outside the top 5 since 2008. Vettel in qualifying at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Never been outside the top 5. So the maximum, so it comes out. The casualties come out, the same casualties. You got Hamilton come out, setting fastest sector. Bottas setting the first sector was Bottas. Hamilton had a green in the first sector. Second sector came. Hamilton got purple. Third sector, purple. Fastest lap, pole, done. It was over. Qualifying was over. You had Hamilton in first. Second, Valtteri Bottas. Third, Stroll. Perez didn't really get... I think Perez got fourth because when he first come out and done his first qualifying, he got his first qualifying wiped out because he went over. He was 4 wheels over the line. The sensor never picked up and said, right, deleted his lap. So he had to go out with the tyres again. They were kind of slightly worn. He couldn't get the grip like he did in his first stint, and he got fourth. But fourth is still brilliant. He's still brilliant. You're on the second row. You are on the second row. There's no Red Bull on the second row. No Ferrari on the second row. You got 1 and 2 Mercedes, and just behind them, the pink Mercedes, 3 and 4. And that is absolutely amazing. That is good news for Racing Point. Coming into next year, is going to have the Aston Martin. Good news for them. They're only going to get stronger. They're only going to get stronger. So, the way it finished, let's get the results in. The way it finished is... We had Hamilton on pole. Valtteri Bottas second, third Lance Stroll, fourth Sergio Perez, fifth Sebastian Vettel. So Vettel out qualifying his teammate again 2 weeks in a row. I bet that makes him happy. Sixth place Charles Leclerc, seventh place Max Verstappen, eighth Lando Norris, ninth Carlos Sainz, 10th Pierre Gasly, 11th Daniel Ricciardo, 12th George Russell, 13th Alexander Albon, 14th Esteban Ocon, 15th Nicholas Latifi, 16th Kevin Magnussen, 17th Daniel Fiat, 18th Roman Grosjean, 19th Antonio Giovinazzi, and 20th Kimi Raikkonen. So, let's see if there's any interviews that we can pick up. But at the end of the video, I'm going to show you... You're going to hear the sound of Hamilton's pole. I'll put that at the end so you can hear his pole. I can't really show it because it's copyright. Let's see if there's any interviews on here. So we've got Albon. Let's go with Albon first.
F1 is back.
Alex, disappointment was clear to hear on your radio message to the team. Was it the warm-up lap where you caught the traffic?
It was a bit of everything. I think, obviously, I didn't do a great lap as well. But we had another lap to kind of fix it. Yeah, it's a few things, to be honest. So we just need to sit with the team and discuss it. And yeah, just be better prepared for the next time.
I know you've not been happy with the car all weekend. Without that last lap, do you feel you're slightly better with it today than you were yesterday?
Yeah, I was in FP3, not so much in qualifying. So yeah, need to figure it out a bit better, and just yeah, not much to say.
Not much to say. I know he gutted. Albon must be thinking, what's going on? He's going to start the doubts that look. We all know what happened with Pierre Gasly. For me, he kind of got, when I watched that Ride to Survive, Drive to Survive, it seems like he got bullied back out of Red Bull. He couldn't take the pressure. Is this going to happen to Alex Albon? Everybody knows how Red Bull roll. They don't give you chances. You have one chance, and they don't give you two chances. They give you one chance, and if you fail, you're gone. Now we've got Esteban Ocon. We have no excuses for the poor season, says Esteban Ocon. So he's kind of ramping up the pressure on Renault.
I only have 50.
Esteban, all day yesterday it seemed like the car had top 10 pace, wet or dry. Where did the pace go?
Yeah, it was not a great session, Will. I have to say. First, on my side, the balance wasn't great. I was not happy with how the car was handling today. Just tricky to go around the lap and put it together. On the other side, we didn't make our life easy with choosing the medium in that first Q2 run. I think we could have built something a little bit stronger on that second Q2 run, so we need to review that as well. It's not over, you know. There could be rain tomorrow. Of course, I'm praying for that at the moment, but it's also going to be an interesting choice of tires, and we can see who have chosen what in that Q3.
Did you lean the car towards more of a wet setup today that didn't lead to getting the performance in the dry, or is it just an unhappiness with the balance of the car?
No, not too much, unfortunately. I would have liked to tell you yes, but no, we tried to set it right for quali. We didn't have much running, which didn't help. But yeah, no excuses. I think we went too far one direction, and yeah, we need to review that.
So, Ocon showing frustration, saying the car has no excuses for the performance. Honest, we've got Charles Leclerc. A positive Charles feels the race is still all to play. Good luck with that one.
Hey Charles, a much better weekend for Ferrari, both in the top 10. Are you happy?
Yeah, happier. We did a step forward, which is nice to see. Yeah, 5th and 6th, so all to play for tomorrow. I think our race pace is a bit stronger than our quali pace, so this is also positive. So let's see what we can do from there tomorrow.
The Mercedes look almost untouchable at the moment, but the pink Mercedes look pretty good as well. You think you can take it to them tomorrow?
That's the goal, definitely. As I said, I think we are close to them in quali, but I expect us to do a step forward for the race, so hopefully this will help us to get in front of them.
We'll see what happens. So we've got George Russell. Respect to George Russell sticking up for his mate Albon. They said he basically coming out and saying on the national Sky, on Sky Sports, to Lazenby and to Johnny Herbert and to Brundle, what's his name, Brundle, saying basically that Albon, they need to sort out Albon, Red Bull, sticking up for his mate. I love it. Loyalty, always loyalty is the number one. Loyalty, love it.
I only have.
P12 again. This time though, you didn't need the rain. It was all on merit. That Q1 lap was something quite sensational. How happy are you with this?
Yeah, ecstatic. You know, P12 did not expect that. Q2 was our target, and the target was to beat the Haas and the Alfa Romeo, and we went another step further. A little bit disappointed we couldn't do a bit more in Q2 because I had a bit of traffic on my fastest lap, and we were considering backing off, boxing, refueling, and going again. So I was on the radio during my Q2 lap speaking to the team, and because we didn't know what the weather was going to do, we stayed out there and we just missed Q3. So I think it was possible today. The car felt great. I was in a good groove, but nevertheless, P12 is good.
Man, you guys are punching at the moment. How good does this feel?
We're definitely punching, that is for sure. I mean, the last two race weekends in the race we've definitely been the slowest car, but on the Saturday we seemed pretty fast. So we need to understand how to convert our quali pace into the race pace. So it's going to be a tricky race tomorrow, especially with the likes of Alex, you know, right behind me. Going to have to be get my elbows out, being as wide as possible, and see what we can do.
Praying for rain?
Yeah, I think I am. I think if it rains, I think we've got the car to be able to do a good job. If it's dry, it's going to be a long and difficult race, but nevertheless, I'll be giving it all I've got.
Honest, I love George Russell. Loved him from Formula 2. Out of all that generation, Lando, him, George Russell, and Albon, and Charles, he was always my favourite. Always. And who else we've got? We've got two more. We're going to have two more interviews. Let's have... We've got no Lewis Hamilton. No, got nothing today. So that's it, really. That's the interviews I've got. And before we leave, we're going to have the sound of Lewis Hamilton's pole lap, and then we're going to finish up. So thank you very much, guys, for watching the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thanks for watching the Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying review. The video will be coming tomorrow for the race day. Look out for that. Hit the subscribe button. I'll leave links below for my Twitch channel, so you can follow me on Twitch as well. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. I got unboxing videos coming up I'm going to put up on my channel, so look out for them as well. Thank you very much, guys. Bye. Now this is Lewis Hamilton's onboard pole.